Hello, this is the Trades at US Stocks and Futures Market Preview for the week beginning Monday, June 3rd, almost halfway through the year, one more month, ending Friday, June 7th, 2024. Hard to believe where we're at here in the year, but it is what it is. Let's go through the major daily charts, then we'll look at the intra-week action, then we'll look at some of our major daily charts on the individual stocks, and we will talk about what's coming out in the week ahead. All right, so here's the dollar index daily chart. Look, still mid-range for the last year, nothing there. Euro dollar did nothing this week, same problem. Pound dollar has been flat since like last Halloween. No joke. So that's kind of crazy. We're literally where we closed on Halloween last year. ES front month futures contract bounced on Friday after dipping. Still holding near highs. S&P cash also near highs. NASDAQ 100 ended up with a green day, also near highs after dipping midday. Russell 2000 ended up gapping up but then closing down. Interesting. Crude oil inventories, crude oil down to 77 basically, so that's a down day there. In terms of Bitcoin, we've got 67,468 right now. Again, this thing trades 7 days a week, 24 hours, so that's where it is. Currently, TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, gapped up this morning. It was a slightly down week, so bonds down, rates up, but nothing major. VIX plunged after gapping up on Wednesday, holding on Thursday, gapping up on Friday, plunged late in the day on Friday. And again, it was statement printing day, the end of May, but still, we're at 1292 on the VIX. That is not great for what we like to see. Advanced decline ratio on the New York, positive on Friday, negative on Thursday, positive on Wednesday, negative on Tuesday, slightly negative on Monday. So it's been a mix back and forth. No real net gains for the week. The trend closes at 0.96, and the 10-day moving average is 1.05, which is the orange line. The blue line is the 0.85 level. We're not under that with the 10-day moving average, so there's no real signal there. So here's the ES. So sad. The biggest move of the week was the last hour on Friday on statement printing day. You don't usually predict that, right? So we had the Monday holiday. That's why it looks weird on May 27th there. So the prior Friday, Monday holiday, Tuesday, open flat, dropped a little late but came back, closed flat. Wednesday gap down, flat the entire session, untradeable. Thursday, small gap down, went flat, and then sold off a little bit late. Friday, a small gap up, and then we tanked. NASDAQ was worse, as you'll see in a minute, but then came all the way back up. And guess what? For the entire week, flat for the week. That's where we are. We're closed at almost at last Friday's levels, and definitely at last Thursday's levels. NASDAQ 100, pretty much the same story. So on the 10-minute charts here, you can see the 13 on Friday was the low of the week. The 13 buy signal we have here was the low of the week, and we curled up off of that. NASDAQ volume holding it in the 6.5 billion range for most of the week. In terms of some of the individual stocks, here's Apple on the daily. Not much here. If it breaks out over the recent highs, that's cool. It's got a general base forming, but it's not at the 200 plus level that it was at before. Amazon dipped a little bit here. Meta still holding close to the highs. Google pulled back a little bit. Goldman Sachs, not much here. Netflix, still very near the highs. One day up would take out the highs of this, might give a strong day, and then you'd have a new high there. Tesla's been dead flat for like a month now. Nothing really going on there. Nvidia pulled back a little bit, but still at the highs. Gapped up on Tuesday, made new highs Wednesday a little bit, Thursday, and then sold off Friday and sold off. Closed, up for the week, but because it was a 4-day week, but down overall since the highs. Zoom, not doing great. Force Solar, though, I love this stock. Just killing it right now, like absolutely killing it. So that's what we're looking at in terms of some of the individual stocks we watched, the key stocks. What do we have for the week ahead? Okay, so we're entering June. There's no Fed announcement. There is a Fed announcement this week. Sorry. No, that's the Bank of Canada. Bank of Canada has a rate announcement. We do not. So in terms of data coming out this week on Monday here in the U.S., ISM manufacturing PMI and ISM final manufacturing PMI, construction spending, those are all at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Ward's total vehicle sales at some point during the day, they'll put it out. There's a lot of concerns over some of the default rates on the car loans and some of the credit card default rates, which is usually a leading sign of problems for the economy. And obviously we know money's pulling in again between the high interest rates, the high inflation, and the fact that there's no more COVID money being printed. It obviously feels like it should be something of a decline in the markets at some point in time. But so far it's held up. We did get a bad number this morning, but we'll see what it leads to. On Tuesday, we've got JOLTS job openings at 10 a.m. and factory orders at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's it. Wednesday, ADP non-farm employment change at 8:15. Final services PMI at 9:45. ISM services PMI at 10. Canada has their rate announcement with their press conference at 10:30. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. The statements have already printed, so we're already past that. We are entering summer. I hate to say that that's not usually the most exciting time of the year, but we've already been not exciting because the VIX is so low. So we'll see what happens there. On Thursday, the initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. We get that every week. Trade balance, though, that's one of the big ones at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday. Natty gas at 10:30, and then on Friday, the unemployment rate for May, we'll see what it is. And the unemployment rate itself doesn't really matter. It's the non-farm employment change number expected at 185,000. We'll see what we get there. And that's it. It's kind of a light week until Friday. It's the first day of June. Statements are printed. Summer is in. We're beyond Memorial Day, so summer's on its way. We're doing our thing now. Hopefully, it would be nice to see some volatility this summer, but you don't usually expect too much of it, and it's obviously been very slow here recently. So we will call it from the tape as we see it. Charts as usual brought to you by NinjaTrader. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.